Welcome to AI Unraveled,
the podcast dedicated to exploring the ever-evolving world of artificial intelligence.
created and produced by Etin Newman
A senior software engineer.
and passionate soccer dad from Canada.
If you find these deep dives valuable.
Please like and subscribe on Apple.
So today we're taking a look at some of the recent AI breakthroughs.
From March 23rd, 2025.
That's right. And we're focusing on extracting the most fascinating and intriguing insights.
That could impact your world.
We've got everything from revolutionary advancements in healthcare.
To potential game changers in tech you use every single day.
And we'll even be looking at how AI could be reshaping the cities we live in.
Okay, let's jump right in.
Sounds good.
First up, AI achieving some really remarkable feats in healthcare.
Particularly cancer detection.
Yeah, this is amazing.
There's this new AI model called ECG-MLP.
ECG-MLP.
And it's demonstrated a truly unbelievable accuracy in detecting endometrial cancer.
We're talking 99.26% accuracy.
From microscopic tissue images.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Analyzing images at a cellular level
Right.
and outperforming human experts.
Yeah, by a significant margin.
So how much better is this than current diagnostic methods?
Well, current methods for endometrial cancer by human pathologists
Okay.
have an accuracy that ranges between 78 to 81%.
Okay.
So we're looking at almost a 20 percentage point jump,
Wow.
which is a really significant potential paradigm shift in how we approach cancer screening.
So if this AI proves successful,
Right.
what could it mean for the average person?
Well, for you and me, higher accuracy could lead to earlier detection,
Right.
which, as we know, is absolutely critical for successful treatment of cancer
Of course.
and ultimately could save lives.
Wow.
Further, imagine democratizing access to expert-level screening globally.
Okay.
In regions where there may be a shortage of specialized pathologists,
I'll say.
AI could really step in and bridge that gap.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Making these advanced diagnostics available to so many more people.
exactly.
Now, ECG-MLP didn't just show promise with endometrial cancer.
That's correct.
There were other cancers too, right?
Yes. The researchers also tested it on a number of other cancers,
Okay.
including colorectal cancer,
Uh-huh.
breast cancer,
Right.
and oral cancers.
And how did it do?
It was really impressive.
Okay.
It had accuracy rates of 98.57% for colorectal,
Wow.
98.20 for breast cancer,
Okay.
and 97.34 for oral.
That's amazing.
So it indicates a very strong versatility in the model's ability to actually identify cancerous cells.
Across different types of tissues.
Exactly.
That's really promising.
It is.
But moving on from healthcare for a second,
Sure.
it seems like AI isn't always so seamless in other areas,
Yeah.
like with this Apple lawsuit.
Yeah, this class action lawsuit against Apple
Right.
is pretty revealing.
About AI's integration into our tech. So what happened?
Well, they've been accused of false advertising
Okay.
because they delayed certain AI features in iOS and Siri.
Oh, so consumers feel like they were misled about the timing of these upgrades.
That's the central claim, yeah.
Okay.
The lawsuit suggests that Apple's marketing efforts, created this expectation
Uh-huh.
among consumers that these advanced AI functionalities would be available,
Right.
within a specific time frame.
And they weren't.
And they weren't delivered as advertised.
So what are the implications of this lawsuit for Apple and for the tech industry as a whole?
Well, I think beyond the immediate legal ramifications for Apple,
Okay.
this case really underscores a growing tension.
Between.
The hype surrounding AI
Uh-huh.
and the much slower reality of deploying it.
Right.
So I think this might mean that you as a consumer might want to be a bit more discerning.
What?
Marketing claims related to AI.
Okay, so like taking those promises with a grain of salt.
Exactly. And perhaps expecting greater transparency. Tech companies.
Regarding
AI roadmaps and timelines.
for when these features will actually be available.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
It could set a precedent. How
Okay.
companies are held accountable.
For the AI capabilities that they advertise.
Precisely.
It's a good reminder that while AI is advancing rapidly,
Yes,
it's still under development.
very much so.
Okay, well, let's move on from this legal battle
Sure.
and talk about a company that's actively pushing forward with AI.
Okay.
That's Google.
Ah, yes, Google.
And they've rolled out some pretty sophisticated video AI features for Gemini.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see AI move beyond analyzing like static text and images
Yeah.
to actively processing live video feeds.
That's pretty amazing.
It is.
So what kind of features are we talking about here?
We're looking at real-time video interpretation,
Okay.
live transcription,
Oh, wow.
summarization of video content,
Okay.
even context-aware assistance,
During...
video calls, or when you're sharing your screen.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
And all of this is powered by Gemini Astra,
Yes.
which is an AI assistant that can essentially see what's happening in a video
In real time.
and respond intelligently.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so Gemini Astra is designed to analyze visual information
Okay.
and provide these relevant and timely responses.
So is this available to everyone?
It's available to subscribers of Gemini Advanced
Okay.
at the moment.
So Google is really trying to stay ahead of the game here.
That seems to be the strategic motivation, yeah.
It's really interesting to see how these different companies are competing.
Yeah, while other major tech companies are reportedly experiencing delays
Huh.
in launching similar real-time video AI features.
Google is just moving full speed ahead.
It seems so, yeah.
So what kind of impact could this have on our lives?
Well, you can imagine in like remote collaboration,
Okay.
you have an AI that can follow a discussion.
In a virtual meeting,
Yeah,
provide a concise summary afterward. Exactly.
that would be amazing.
Or even in customer support.
Okay,
An AI could visually guide someone through a technical issue,
I see.
troubleshooting something.
Okay,
It could really help with accessibility, too.
how so?
Real-time language interpretation during a video call.
Oh, wow.
Imagine breaking down all those communication barriers.
That would be incredible.
It would be a game changer.
But are there any concerns with these capabilities?
Well, of course, as with any new technology, there are always concerns about privacy and potential for surveillance.
Especially in professional or educational settings.
Exactly.
So these are definitely ethical implications that we need to consider.
As this technology becomes more widespread,
Yeah, it's a lot to think about.
it is.
Now let's move on from the digital world
Sure.
to the physical world.
Okay.
Let's talk cities.
Cities.
Cape Town is exploring an AI-powered traffic management system
Yeah.
with a really ambitious goal. So city officials in Cape Town are evaluating a system that aims to reduce the number of vehicle stops
At intersections.
at traffic intersections by a significant 30%.
30%.
That's the goal.
That's huge.
Yeah, so the idea is that the AI would dynamically adjust the timing of traffic signals
Okay.
based on a constant flow of real-time data.
Taking into account things like traffic congestion.
Exactly, congestion, accidents,
Okay.
pedestrians.
All kinds of factors.
So instead of traditional fixed timing for traffic lights,
Right.
this system would constantly be learning and adapting.
To the actual traffic conditions.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. So this dynamic adaptation is really the core innovation.
And how would it improve things?
By optimizing these green light intervals and signal patterns
Soy.
in response to real-time conditions,
Right.
the system has the potential to significantly improve traffic flow,
Okay.
reduce air pollution.
From idling vehicles.
Exactly. And ultimately shorten commute times for everyone. A 30% reduction in stops would make a huge difference
Absolutely, yeah.
in daily commutes.
Yeah, that's the hope.
So if this is successful,
Yes,
Cape Town could be a model for other cities
that's certainly the hope.
looking to leverage AI
Uh-huh.
to address their own urban mobility challenges.
Right.
It's exciting to see how AI is being used.
To tackle these large-scale infrastructure issues.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, speaking of large-scale applications,
Okay.
we also saw the Trump administration launching a new AI platform
Yes,
to be used across the federal government.
that's right. And I think it's really notable.
What is?
This increasing recognition within government.
Of AI's potential
Exactly.
to enhance efficiency and streamline operations.
Yeah.
So what are the objectives of this new platform?
Well, they're stating things like accelerating document analysis,
Okay.
providing more informed decision support for policymakers,
Okay.
and improving service delivery to citizens.
So they want to modernize some of those slower, more bureaucratic processes.
That seems to be the main drive.
Are there any concerns about this?
Well, of course, as with any new technology, there are always potential downsides.
Wait.
When you increase integration of AI into federal infrastructure, it invites scrutiny.
Oh.
How that data is being used,
Yeah.
the level of transparency in algorithms,
Uh-huh.
and the potential for unintended biases.
So this could really impact the future of AI regulation
I think so.
and standardization within different agencies.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's shift gears back to consumer technology.
Sound good?
Back to Apple.
Apple.
It seems they are looking for ways to embed AI into their wearables.
Yes, specifically the Apple Watch.
Oh, interesting.
So there are reports suggesting that they're looking into integrating cameras
Okay.
to future versions of the Apple Watch.
So both the standard series and the Ultra model.
That's right.
Cameras on an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
What's the idea behind that?
Well, it seems to be linked to this concept they're calling visual intelligence.
Okay.
So the aim is to equip the watch with the ability to perceive its surroundings,
See.
essentially.
And then?
Provide the wearer with context-aware information based on what it sees.
So it could identify landmarks,
Yeah.
translate text,
Oh.
recognize objects.
Precisely. Those are the types of functionalities they're hinting at.
That's really interesting.
It is.
So Apple is really focusing on weaving AI into their existing products
That seems to be their strategy
rather than venturing into new categories
of dedicated AI devices.
like some other companies have done.
Right.
But when can we expect these camera-equipped Apple Watches?
Well, the report suggests they are still some years away,
Okay.
potentially a few generations away.
Okay.
But of course, this raises significant privacy concerns.
That Apple will have to address.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about the technology driving all these advancements.
Okay.
AI models themselves.
The heart of it all.
DeepSeek has released a major upgrade to their AI model.
Yes. DeepSeek's newly updated model.
Called?
DeepSeek V30324
Okay.
seems to offer substantial performance enhancements,
In?
particularly coding.
Oh, so what's new?
Developers are reporting it can generate much larger amounts of error-free code.
Okay, that's great for coders.
It is.
But is there anything negative about this new model?
Well, some have observed that the model's output has a more robotic tone.
Interesting.
So it kind of highlights the ongoing balancing act in AI development,
Between?
achieving high performance and maintaining a natural and engaging interaction.
I see.
So it suggests that DeepSeek may have prioritized functional improvements.
At the expense of a more natural language generation?
Right.
But they did change their licensing to MIT license.
Yes, which is generally considered quite permissive.
And open source friendly.
Exactly.
So that's a positive.
Yeah, that could encourage wider adoption.
By researchers and developers.
Exactly.
Leading to more innovation.
Precise.
And how big is this model?
It's quite large.
Okay.
It's 641 gigabytes,
Wow.
or 352 gigabytes,
Wow.
with quantization.
Quantization.
It's a technique that reduces its memory footprint.
Oh, okay.
But what's remarkable is a developer was able to demonstrate it running at a pretty fast speed.
On
Regular consumer-grade computer hardware.
over 20 tokens per second on regular hardware. That's really impressive.
It is quite impressive.
And it's available for testing on the OpenRouter platform.
Yes.
So developers can easily try it out.
That's right.
And it can handle creative prompts
Yes.
on OpenRouter.
Yeah, so it shows that it's not just for coding.
So this release really highlights the...
Certainly ambitious.
So what does Perplexity plan to do if they acquire TikTok?
Well, they've laid out some pretty major plans.
Yeah.
They want to rebuild TikTok's algorithm
Okay.
with a focus on transparency,
Okay.
open sourcing it,
Right.
ensuring American oversight,
Okay.
and integrating their own AI search technology.
So they're really committed to transparency?
Yeah, open sourcing the algorithm is a big part of that.
Okay.
They also want to integrate AI-powered citation capabilities.
Directly into TikTok videos.
Exactly.
So users can verify information in real time.
That's the idea.
That's a huge step towards combating misinformation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what about the technical side of things?
Well, they're proposing to use NVIDIA's Dynamo technology to improve TikTok's recommendation engine.
How would that help?
Well, the goal is to achieve significant improvements in speed and scalability.
Okay.
And their vision also includes this cross-platform integration.
Where?
TikTok videos would appear in Perplexity search results,
Okay.
and Perplexity's engine would power search within TikTok.
So they're really going all in.
They are.
It's pretty amazing to see a startup like Perplexity making such a bold move.
It is.
But will this bid actually be successful?
Well, the deadline is approaching quickly, so
Mhm.
only time will tell.
Okay, well, before we wrap up,
Yes,
we want to take a moment to ask for your support.
of course.
If you enjoy these deep dives
Yeah.
and you want to help us keep this podcast free,
Free for everyone.
please consider making a donation.
Every little bit helps.
You can find donation links in the show notes.
Thank you.
Now let's quickly go over some other noteworthy AI developments.
From March 23rd, 2025.
Anthropic introduced a new Think tool
for their Claude AI model,
designed to enhance structured reasoning.
for complex tasks,
There were also reports of a potential partnership
between OpenAI and Meta,
with India's Reliance Industries.
which could lead to a price reduction for ChatGPT in India.
That would be huge.
It would.
We also saw comments from Kai-Fu Lee
A prominent figure in AI,
about Sam Altman and his startup 01 AI.
shifting towards DeepSeek models.
And there were glimpses into Apple's internal research and development.
For camera-equipped Apple Watches,
With AI visual intelligence,
aiming for a 2027 release,
Zapier also launched its MCP protocol,
which aims to simplify.
how AI assistants interact with thousands of apps.
Over 8,000 to be exact.
And there were studies
Exploring a potential link between increased ChatGPT usage,
and feelings of loneliness and emotional dependence.
which raises some interesting questions.
About the social and psychological considerations of AI adoption.
It does.
And lastly, browser use secured significant seed funding.
For its AI-friendly website navigation solutions.
That's right.
A very busy day for AI innovation.
It was.
Yeah.
So what does all of this mean for you?
That's the big question.
We've seen AI becoming increasingly integrated into our lives.
From healthcare to our devices to our cities and even government.
The speed of innovation is remarkable.
Presenting us with exciting possibilities and some big questions.
About responsible development and deployment of this powerful technology.
We've only scratched the surface here.
Each of these advancements could be explored in much greater detail.
So what stood out to you?
What was the most impactful trend, or maybe the most concerning one?
What questions are these rapid advancements raising in your own mind?
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
And if you're looking to reach a highly engaged and professional audience,
That is keenly interested in technology and innovation.
we invite you to spread the word about your business or service.
By advertising right here on AI Unraveled.
Reach thousands of professionals seeking to stay informed.
About the latest advancements.
Reach out to us to learn more about our affordable and effective advertising opportunities.
And thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the ever-evolving world of AI.
We hope you found it valuable
And we encourage you to continue exploring these fascinating topics.
and forming your own informed perspectives.
On the future shaped by AI.
See you in the next episode.
Goodbye.
Bye.